And that trans ad that they did, which I know a lot of people talk about in America, which a lot of people say was successful. I don't know how successful it was. I looked at some of the statistics about that poll, about that ad, and it was successful in some states, but not in other states. But overall, it did have some impact. I don't think it won in the election, but the ad was basically saying Democrats are for they, them, but Trump is for you. So the interesting thing about this is a lot of people say it's anti-trans. It is anti-trans, but the main part of that ad was not about trans people. It was about the economy, right? It was everything they did was around the economy. They understood that inflation was the number one reason people were voting, right? Every poll, exit poll, it showed, not just in America, in Australia, Europe, it was happening everywhere, right? Marnie, part of the problem elected Democrats have is being on defense and not offense. Yeah, I agree. You've got to be. Here's something I want to tell you about what happened in Australia's election and how in Australia's election, the right-wing party, we only had this a couple of months ago, the right-wing party tried to use Trump-like tactics at the election. And this is how our centre-left government fought back. And it was very similar to what you saw in 2024. And it was very smart. And it's something that the Democrats in America need to look at. They need to stop looking, they're saying to start looking at the rest of the other centre-left governments around the world, how they are fighting exactly the same thing. Because look around the world, you will see proof of how centre-left governments are winning. And this is what they're doing. They're not talking about the culture wars, right? They're not talking about trans people playing sport and stuff like that. They're not, but at the same time, they're not throwing them under the bus, right? They're just staying out of it. What they're doing